So we're at the 2024 Town Finance School in Albany today. We're going to be reviewing a number of different items on the budgets and finances for towns in general. We have 9 a.m. a living, breathing document developing and managing the town budget with Sarah Broncatella and Katie Hodgson, who we basically saw at the Turning Stone as well. Then we're going to go into common audit findings at 10:30. What went wrong, and I have a copy of the audit that we went through with the town of Western with us today, so that I can maybe ask some specific questions with that. And we're going to have lunch and then go into reporting for elected and appointed officials for retirement. That's the New York State retirement program. Then at 2 o'clock, we're going to go into establishing and accounting for reserves, and they don't. Then we're going to have another break, and then we're going to, at 3:30, we're going to have something that's interesting. It's called Ask the Auditor and Ask the Attorney. So we're going to be able to actually, based on what we learned today in this training and with the audit that we have here, I can go into some details maybe with an attorney or with the auditors from New York State themselves and kind of get a feel for what kind of issues we did have with that audit and whether or not it's something that we need to be concerned with as the public, or whether it's really just a basic, miscommunication, not dotting their I's and crossing their T's. And if that's the case, at least we'll know that that's what it's all about from a different perspective. So that's going to be extremely positive as well. I also have the town budget here and the paperwork from last night's meeting, which is basically all of the accounts on the warrant that came out yesterday. So we're going to be covering that warrant, all the departments on there, the funds, and how those things get moved around and why they get moved around and where you can move that money, such as can you move CHIPS fund money to other places for the town? Can you move FEMA funding outside of highway into other departments in the town? What you're legally allowed and not legally allowed to do with respect to moving those funds in those different accounts around the town. I'm sure there's stipulations for that, and those are the kinds of things that we're going to cover today. So there, because this is a private kind of a training course, they're not going to allow us to video this, and that's perfectly fine. They are looking in the future at whether or not they want to do that, and so they're discussing that now with their new director, the Association of Towns. So we're going to go ahead and I believe they're going to start here in about 10 minutes or so. So we're going to cut the live feed now, and we're just going to look at some numbers. So we'll talk to you at break. We'll have a break at 10:15, and we'll kind of let you know what we learned in this first living and breathing document, developing and managing the town budget, which is going to be very positive. There are 150 people at this today. That is amazing. That is a huge turnout. 150 at $300. That's a big cost for the public to learn about this. And at the same time, it's a good way to keep private training going, which is the Association of Towns, whether it's private or whether it's a not-for-profit organization. I don't know yet, but we'll get into that as well at some point in time. So we'll let you go, and we'll get back to the meeting.